everyone, I'm Mimi. I'm opening my door to my sweet digs in Brooklyn. Come on in. So because this is New York, there is a second door. I am currently based in Brooklyn, New York, and I am a writer who writes about the intersections of love and fear. My home is really special because it's a place that I've intentionally made very safe. I think it's a place where I've been able to be as creative as I want, and I've been able to bring a bunch of found objects with really loved ones and create a sanctuary. I think this is a gem because there's a backyard. It kind of feels like a fairy house in a lot of ways. And sometimes I even kind of forget that I live so close to the big city. So I really like that about it. So this is my living room / media room. I'm really happy to have this space because it just gives me the space and the time to sit with the things that I love. And I'm really grateful to live in a space that's big enough for me to just kind of spread my wings and like dance around and feel the rhythm. My favorite thing to do ever is to go scouring for used furniture. I really love going to like online marketplaces or even stooping to kind of see these like big statement pieces. But I also like to mix it with some like really modern pieces from IKEA. So there's a come soon mirror, which I like to dance in. I really do believe that community is everything. I don't believe that we're supposed to be in isolation, which is funny because I do live alone, but that doesn't mean that I'm isolated. And community to me it's everything. It's like what allows me to stay connected. It's what allows me to remember love as like a true driving force. So community is such an important part of my life, and I really do believe that building community is what makes homes as sacred as they are too. So this is my bedroom right here. I like to wake up early in the morning, do my stretches, and water my plants. And just being surrounded by the greenery is really important for me to reconnect with Earth, because that's not always the easiest thing to do in New York City. So I tend to work the most in the dining room / multi-purpose room. Here is the dining table, which is very old and I think holds a lot of history. And I like to imagine all the dinners that were had here before. I think that's one of the reasons why I really love found objects, is that there's stories behind them. I actually don't really like being confined to a desk all day long, and so the dining table is actually really perfect because I get to sprawl out. So having a lot of space, especially in the dining room, that is filled with like creativity is a really great place for me to get my creative juices flowing. I do have a book coming out next year, and I've been really focusing on writing it, and this is literally where I do it. This is where all the magic happens, and this is where I focus and think and reflect. My favorite part about this room is the ceiling, because it just has the most beautiful detailing, and I wish I knew the exact year that this building was built, but it is truly such an intricate and beautiful, elaborate design. So this is a kitchen, and this is where I do majority of my cooking. I'm not the best cook ever, but I really do like to experiment in this space and try out my mother's recipes. And I also like to do that with friends and prepare meals for my friends in here. I really need to stay organized in the kitchen because I don't like it messy. So I have the Corkin jar that keeps my pastas and my non-perishables. And I have the farklap plates where I get to serve everything all fancy and colorful and beautiful. And I really love to make dinner and serve it outside in the garden. The garden is as rare as they come. It's really hard to find an outdoor space in New York in general, and so when I saw the garden, I just knew that I wanted to write parts of my book there, that I wanted to meditate there and sit with myself there. And granted, it is next to the highway, but I think that's the charm of it too. It's like a reminder, like, oh, you live in the city, but you can also experience this like deep beauty and this deep tranquility. There's like 4 magnificent trees out there who have lived for hundreds of years, and they've seen it all, and they've seen all the changes in Brooklyn. They've seen all the changes of the people in the city, and when I'm next to them, I feel like I'm with some very wise guardians, and I feel very taken care of. So I think the act of choosing to live alone was an act of self-lovingness. Because it's such an intimate space and an intimate home, I get to know myself in really intimate ways that I don't know if I could otherwise. In the living room where I dance and in the dining room where I write, it's possible for me to access so many different layers of myself and to be unafraid of the differences that I have. You know, I'm a lot less fearful of facing myself, and sometimes I just allow myself to be, I guess, unpresentable, but still beautiful, and I feel beautiful. But I think self-love is essential, you know, in everyday life, and it's something that so many of us are not taught, but it's a relationship that we need to nurture constantly. And I think this home is the perfect reflection of me reflecting.